Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you may be coming in and listening to this. If you're catching me on the replay, then let me know that you're catching the replay. But thank you so much, guys, for being here. It's your girl, Tanya Joyner-Scott. I won't be before you too long. I just kind of wanted to come and share a little bit, something that's on my heart. See, I got somebody up here. Who's that? Will it just show me? As I'm learning this process, pretty good here. But welcome. Come on in, tag some friends, especially my sisters out there. Share. Hi, Gwendolyn. Thank you so much for being here. You guys already know, if you were with me some last week, always so full. And that's what makes me come. And that's why I'm here right now. And I just want to share, hi Deirdre, there go my twin, another birthday twin that I have right there. But again, welcome. I want to talk a little bit about the influence that we have as women. Some may already be very much aware of this, but it's also a good reminder as we continue to live, as we go about life, doing the things that we do, to have this understanding. I'm telling you, it puts so much in perspective, okay? So again, welcome. Hey, babe, there's my hubby right there, y'all. He's down there working out right now, too. All right, come on. Let's talk a little bit. All right, let's share a little bit. I can remember when I first kind of became knowledgeable myself to understand the influence that we have as women. It was really life-changing for me because it's a responsibility. And then the understanding also as to how the adversary works against us, because having this influence, this is really incredible how God has equipped us as people, but just getting specific to how he's equipped us as women. What it is that we have, how we do what we do. And the thing that I want everybody to realize, one thing that we must know is the enemy knows how to sneak in. He comes in and he attacks. He comes after the very things that we have, our giftings, our knowledge base, whatever it may be, and he wants to bring disruption. So with that being said, can I just say this to you right now? And I want everybody to really sit down and think about and when you really think about this, you can say, you know what, we do. So when I talk about the influence that we have, we set the atmosphere as women. How we feel about things, it really comes out when we even just walk in the room. We talk a lot about energy. We'll talk about the frequencies and things of that nature, learning and hearing so much more about it in these days that we're in right now. But the very thing that we carry, it will come into any atmosphere that we are in, and things will typically follow suit. So I think about it even in our own homes. And what came to my mind is, how many of you know that script? Well, it's not a scripture. Forgive me for even saying that, but it's a phrase. It's a saying where they'll say, happy wife, happy life. Are y'all familiar with that? Happy wife, happy life. What are they saying? It's as if depending on how she is going to determine how we are. It's where we would hear oftentimes our men, our husbands talk about, or they may ask, what do you want to eat? And we're like, what do you want? They was like, no, what do you want? And if we really sit down and begin to listen to the conversations that they have and the things they have to say even about us, it has much to do with them saying, if you're not happy, nobody's happy. And that's the thing that we would hear oftentimes. Well, what I want us to do is to bring this back. That's right, sis. We set the atmosphere. Is to really think about this. And this influence that we have, and basically take some responsibility for it. Okay? Does that sound good? All right. Now, with all of that being said, I want to break this scripture down, all right? And I actually went and I pulled them up because there's several. And one of the things that I used to ask myself, y'all stay with me now, just listen to this really quickly. And when I would go back and I said, wow, God, you had a lot of scriptures in here as it related to being a nagging wife. So let's just look at a few real quick, okay? Or these right here that we have. And I want you to pay attention. It says, it is better to live in a corner of the housetop than in a house shared with a quarrelsome wife. Proverbs 21:9. 21:19. It is better to live in a desert land than with a quarrelsome and fretful woman. That's 21:19. Proverbs 27:15. A continual dripping on a rainy day and a quarrelsome wife are alike. Proverbs 25:24. It is better to live in a corner of the housetop than in a house shared with a quarrelsome wife. And listen to this one, 19:13, Proverbs still. A foolish son is ruin to his father, and a wife's quarreling is a continual dripping rain. So all of this is in Proverbs 21, 19, 21, 25, and 27. These same scriptures talking about that. Now, even for some of us who may not be wives, we're still women. And the thing that I really want us to understand with our influence is we're carriers. Y'all got me? We're carriers. We're nurturers. Naturally, it's what we do. And when we hold things within ourselves as a carrier, that's a beautiful thing. From carrying our babies, we talk about the seed. Even when Eve took part of the fruit, and then the Lord did come to say to her at least, yeah, but you're going to bear a seed that even with a bruised heel, you're going to be able to stomp on the head of the enemy. So that's a power that he let us know that we still have. So we're a carrier of the very seed that came into this world to bring what? Salvation. We're carriers. But what does the enemy know how to do? He knows how to come in and take that very thing that about us and use it in a way to bring disruption into our lives, into this earth, all of that. And this is what we need to really come to a place of understanding is I'm a carrier. I'm a nurturer. I bear this power. I bear this ability. Let me not allow the enemy to come in and cause me to carry a seed in a way that's going to cause me not to take action, that's going to cause me to go into hiding, that's going to cause me to find fault, that's going to cause me to look upon another sister and not what just came to my mind, let me just say it, and not like her just because of who she is or what her calling is. It's so much that we can talk about in this, but this is how the enemy uses us. This is how he uses the very thing that God has given us against us if we allow him to. And I really wanted just to come here this morning really quickly to bring this to light and for us to understand our influence, for us to understand that we set the atmosphere oftentimes. If there's something that's bothering you, how do you deal with that? How do you wear that? When you walk into a room, does everyone know that there's something wrong even though you said nothing at all? When you show up for a meeting, if you're showing up on somebody's Zoom, if you come wherever it is that you may be, and there's something that's just not feeling good to you, how do you deal with that? How do you handle it? Do you take it out on everybody? Does it change the energy in your home? Does it change the energy between you and your husband, your children, the workplace? What? Why? We have influence. And if we're not mindful of it, we could allow the enemy to come in and actually use it against us. The other thing that was in my heart was being that carrier and how we really pause and think about things. What about your dreams, your goals, your aspirations? When you don't feel good about yourself, and see, this is me and my testimony. This is Tanya. Tanya being in hiding for a very long time. Tanya finding fault oftentimes with herself. Tanya doing so much comparison, being afraid and reluctant into taking action with many things. And a lot of times it had much to do with what other people would say, do, or think. It had much to do with how other people would even respond. So what did I do? I would nurture that. I would carry that. See, that's a natural thing for us, and that's my point. It's such a natural thing for us to do, and then we carry it. So what are you carrying? And is there anything that you need to begin to change? Is there a transition that needs to take place? Is there a shift in the mind? Is there a renewal that needs to take place in order for you to really begin to see that change in your life? And if so, I want to charge you to do that. I want to challenge you to do that. I want you to take ownership of who you are and utilize this gift to influence, this ability to nurture, this ability for us to actually carry this seed and be that carrier, that we actually do it for what? For our benefit, for the benefit of those around us, all for the advancement of God in this earth. That's what it's for. And we just need to become mindful of it. I was reminded recently out of the book of Ruth. No, I'm sorry, out of the book of Esther, I think it was. Let me look. I got some stuff pulled up even here. I think it's Esther. The book of Esther. It is. It's the book of Esther. And it was with Queen Vashti. And do y'all remember how at the beginning of the book of Esther, here's Queen Vashti and her husband, the king, he calls for her. And it states in the word how he pretty much had gotten very drunk. He was having this celebration. I think it had been going on for about a week. And he had been drinking and all of that. So just kind of merry. So what he did, he called for his wife. And he asked that they go tell Vashti, Queen Vashti, to come on out, put a crown on, and come on out. And he just pretty much wanted to parade her in front of everyone to see. And now it's a matter of coming to understand that when he said put on the crown, that's really all he wanted her to wear. So in essence, he was looking for her to come out there without anything on her body, just wearing the crown so he could flaunt her in front of everyone there and they could see her beauty. And she refused. She was like, no, I'm not coming. And he was mad, pissed off. So he's looking at those that's around him saying, y'all know the law. What do I need to do? What do I do? And they had a recommendation. And the recommendation that they had was, you need to get another wife. Let's bring in some virgins and let's let you take a look at some people. And we're going to pretty much dethrone her. And that's what happened. Here's the point that I want to make from sharing that with you right now. Based on everything that I've already said, Vashti knew who she was. Vashti didn't allow the fact that they were angry, the king, the fact that they were saying, we're going to dethrone her and now we're going to move her out the way and bring in somebody else. But because she knew who she was, regardless of the decisions that was being made about her, she continued to walk in the beauty and the essence of who she was. The other thing that was beautiful for all of us to see is, even though he was going to raise up another queen to bring someone else, there was nothing that she had against her. There was no words that was spoken. She didn't go in trying to make anybody else feel bad because they were now taking her place. None of those things happened. Why? She knew who she was. The very power of her as a woman, the influence that she has, she took responsibility for that. She took responsibility for who it is that she was, that who she is. She took responsibility. And she moved on knowing, I know who I am, regardless of what you say and regardless of what you do. And that pretty much right there, to me, said a whole lot about being a woman of influence, that she didn't go around sabotaging her life or anybody else's, even though somebody else was taking her place. Y'all, that's really big. And that's why I come back to say, as women, and the influence that we have, it's our responsibility as to what we do with it, how we handle things. Even when things happen that may be disappointing to us, how do you carry yourself? How do you respond? How do you walk in the room? How do you show up at those meetings on the Zoom? What is it that you say? What is it that you do? What is it? It's up to you. It's your responsibility. So with God giving us this incredible power, this incredible ability to influence, as he said, and again, when I look at those scriptures, all of those that continue to talk about being a nagging wife and how it's better to be with dripping water, how it's better to live in the corner of a rooftop, how it's better to be in the middle of a desert than to have this woman, it's because the enemy knows what to do. He knows the influence that we have. He knows the how we walk. He knows we're the carrier. He knows that we have the ability. He knows how we change things. He knows the power of our words. He knows the power of our presence. He knows that power. And if he can come in and cause us to act and behave any kind of way that will cause it not to be birthed, that will cause the very seed that we carry to be aborted, then that's exactly what he's going to do. We cannot let him. And so I'll say this even at the end as I even think about Vashti and just talking to my sister, sister to sister. Can we be there for each other? Can we be happy for each other? Can we support one another? Can we speak highly of each other? Can we do it? Can we understand our influence? Can we embrace it? Can we know that we all have it? And can we honor that within each other? Let's do that. Let's do that. Okay? So that's all I have. Just wanted to talk a little bit about our influence, the fact that we're carriers, the fact that we're nurturers, the fact that we have this ability so that we can really go about living our lives the way that God would have us to. And I want you to begin to nurture within yourself that thing that you have that's good so that you can birth it. So don't, in your natural ability to nurture, don't nurture the sabotaging of the dream. Don't nurture the low self-esteem. Don't nurture the excuses. Instead, nurture the gift. Nurture the dream. Nurture the abilities. Nurture the influence in a positive way and walk it out. Okay? So Dexter and I are planning something. And it's going to be a 5-day challenge. So our intention is to launch it at the end of this month. And this right here is really big for us, but it's really big for me because anybody who even knows our story, I was the one in my own way, but that caused me to also be in our way because of the things that we knew, he knew that we were to do together. But because of the limiting beliefs that I had on myself, I took no action. So at the end of this month, I believe is when we're going to try to launch this. It's a challenge. And it's a challenge that you can take part with us. It's going to be $3.00, okay? $3.00. But it's going to be impactful. And if you want to be made aware when it's actually launching, go to I think it's on our website, right? Go to our website, theupgraders.com, and I think it's called like get ready for the challenge. There's a button up there, challenge, like a little circle up there. Click that and you can literally sign up just to say, Dexter and Tanya, remind me. I think I prepare to be challenged. Thank you. Prepare to be challenged. So just click that and then you can sign up to say, yep, let me know when you're going to do this so that when it does launch, you will be made aware. Because one thing that you're going to get from us is also being live at least 3 times over that 5-day period, okay, where we can spend some time together. How does that sound? So I want you to do that for me because in getting out of your own way, it requires you coming to a place of one, knowing who you are, and it requires you to let some things go. And this is why it's such a passion for me. And even for what I just talked about, coming directly to my sisters is because we're the ones who hold stuff. I don't know what you've been through in your life. I don't know what you've experienced, but I know that we hold things. And it's from this holding that we do, this nurturing that we do, is how we come up with excuses. And those excuses we consider validation, and it causes us to not take action, and we're left tripping all over our dreams. It's time out for that. Theupgraders.com. Click prepare to be challenged. Let us know that you want to be present, and we'll make sure that you get the link. All right? All right, my beautiful sisters. Thank you so much for spending just a little bit of time with me. Yes, theupgraders.com. All right, so thank you for spending a little bit of time. Did you, Keisha? Keisha, I'm glad to hear that, because I'm telling you, listen, y'all know I'm pretty transparent. Anybody who can follow Tanya. And I'm going to tell you, even for me, I could sit here and talk myself out of being here right now. I was sitting here to say, don't nobody need to hear this. Ain't nobody going to care. This isn't going to be good. This isn't going to be, these are the things that I would say to myself. Are you surprised? Well, me too. What I know is that it's an adversary, and I understand them now. And a big part, because if you want to know what to do, if you want to know how to reach even the levels that I have been able to reach in my life, the doors that have been open for me, the things that I've been able to accomplish, it has had everything to do with coming to the understanding of what it is that I was fighting and acknowledging it, which is why you hear me say exposure brings closure. The reason why I also go as far to say what I just said to you as how the enemy will begin to speak is because a lot of times we feel like if I'm still hearing this, then that must mean it's not for me and I'm not ready. The devil is a liar. A lot of people may not come up here and tell you about the things they still have to contend with. Why do I do that? Because I need you to understand that your success and what it is that you're able to do and being obedient to God, having faith, and then following his instructions for your life has everything to do with being in fighting back and resisting the devil for in order for him to flee from you. That's what it's going to deal with. And a lot of times we feel like he stops talking. He does not. He leaves you alone after a while. Nada. Prepare to get out of your future's way. All right? Thank you, guys. He is a liar, Olympia. A to the men. Okay? All right, my sisters. Thanks so much for joining me. Be back another time soon. Until then, I just look forward to hearing more from you. Make sure you go get registered, or at least to know when the registration is going to begin. All right? Bye-bye, everybody.